the Herald and posted on the bulletin board maintained in the municipal building for public announcement. Will you please rise and join me with salute to the flag? The pledge of allegiance to the flag of
the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll.
Mr. Sherlock.
Yes.
Mr. Diamond.
Yes.
Mr. Cadmick.
Yes.
Ms. Crock.
Yes.
Councilman Kucevich.
Here.
Mr. Mazaluski.
Here.
Mr. Rossi. Chairman Ray.
Here.
Ms. Snow.
Here.
Mr. Taylor.
Here.
Mr. Wagner. Mayor Galati. Here.
First item on the agenda is a motion in order to approve the minutes of the July 8th, 2025 meeting.
Motion.
I'll second
it.
Mr. Sherlock.
Yes.
Mr. Diamond.
Yes.
Mr. Cadmick.
Yes.
Ms. Crock.
Yes.
Councilman Kucevich.
Yes.
Chairman Ray.
Yes.
Ms. Snow.
Same.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Excuse me. Mayor Galati.
Yes.
Okay, next up is resolutions. We have four tonight. First resolution is Hyro Redzik, 7 Prickle Point Road. The hearing date was June 17th, 2025. Do you have a motion?
Make the motion. I'll second it.
Mr. Sherlock.
Yes.
Mr. Diamond.
Yes.
Mr. Cadmick.
Yes.
Ms. Crock.
Yeah.
Councilman Kucevich.
Yes.
Chairman Ray.
Yes.
Ms. Snow.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Mayor Galati. Yes.
Okay, second resolution is Richard and Juanita Bronstein, 2 Oakdale Ave. The hearing date was June 17th, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve that resolution?
I make a motion.
Second.
Mr. Sherlock.
Yes.
Mr. Diamond.
Yes.
Mr. Cadmick.
Yes.
Ms. Crock.
Yes.
Councilman Kucevich.
Yes.
Chairman Ray.
Yes.
Ms. Snow.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Mayor Galati. Yes.
Okay, next resolution is Cameron Tool, 211 Lakeside Boulevard. Hearing date was June 3rd, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve that?
I'll make the motion. A second.
Mr. Sherlock.
Yes.
Mr. Diamond.
Yes.
Mr. Cadmick.
Yes.
Ms. Crock.
Yes.
Councilman Kucevich.
Yes.
Chairman Ray.
Yes.
Ms. Snow.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Mayor Galati. Yes.
Okay, correspondence, we have none. Escrow refunds, we have none. Next item is bills.
Wait. Didn't you do this?
Or this one?
Yeah.
All right, well, we have one more resolution. Brian Wisdom and Marana Mahovic, 307 Lakeside Boulevard. Hearing date was June 17th, 2025. I have a motion to approve that.
I'll make the motion. Second.
Mr. Sherlock.
Yes.
Mr. Diamond.
Yes.
Mr. Cadmick.
Yes.
Ms. Crock.
Yes.
Councilman Kucevich. Chairman Ray. Ms. Snow.
Abstain.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Mayor Galati. Yes.
The next item is bills. We have Mont McDonald, Dolan and Dolan, New Jersey Herald, Van Cleef. Do I have a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Mr. Sherlock.
Yes.
Mr. Diamond.
Yes.
Mr. Cadmick.
Yes.
Ms. Crock.
Yes.
Councilman Kucevich.
Yes.
Chairman Ray.
Yes.
Ms. Snow.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Mayor Galati. Yes.
The next item is zoning officer report. Bill?
Yes, yeah, I've got a couple tonight, if I could. 304 Lakeside Avenue, that's an application that had been before the board, it received approval. It's a place where it's the primary house, the second home in the garage, up close to Lola's restaurant. And they came in with a design change, and it's just a little covered entryway. It's not even enclosed, but there's a roof over it. Technically, it is an expansion and structural work being done on a building that houses a non-conforming use. Technically, it does trigger that variance, but I wanted to see if the board just seemed to think this was de minimis. Probably not too much different than the roof overhang. Well, it's already up above there, and it doesn't trigger, it doesn't offend the side yard or the front yard setback, or it's over an existing lot coverage, so it doesn't trigger the lot coverage either. Or
It looks de minimis to me, Bill.
Yeah. I don't see Brian.
Get to know him.
You need a vote on that? You need a motion or you're
No,
good?
just
some direction on that.
Yeah,
just
you're good.
all I'm doing
I
is giving a
agree. I think
straw
that
poll kind of thing.
make somebody come in with an application that says,
The little roof over the.
oh,
All right, what else you got?
The second one is 17 Lakeland Drive, and this is a zoning permit that's come in, and the gentleman wants to rebuild that dock. And of course, you can see that I highlighted it in the handout. It's right, it's actually over the extended property line, and conventionally, well, let's put it this way, before the change in the ordinance, I would simply say, well, get it back in the confines of the property line in same size, same location. But now technically, it is a structure and it's gonna be removed well more than 50%. And so ultimately that does potentially trigger a variance. With the docks, we talk about it every now and then. The scenario here is, of course, it could at this point go right into the middle of the property. But this dock was built on cribings, wooden stone cribings, and if it were to be moved to more to the middle or the best location, then of course all those rocks and cribings would have to be removed, which it physically is probably possible, but of course that's a lot more of an added expense and such. So I just want to see what the board's.
I mean, is there room for him to get it over on the property? I mean, it's fairly close to the.
I believe she's probably over a couple feet. And I would say she have to, I mean, there's no way the board or I could ever say it's okay to allow that encroachment. So she'd absolutely have to be pulled completely on the property. But as I said, that I know Mr. Hagerty, I think. would probably say-
My opinion is gonna be move it, frankly, because you can't approve an encroachment into an adjoining property, and if there's an opportunity to remove the encroachment, then it should be removed. If this was a situation where they were just refacing the top of the dock, I'd say, yeah, no, you can replace boards,
They'd be able to.
This is more than.
That's what I was thinking. I
Yeah, I
agree
mean, it's
with,
pretty narrow. I mean, so it's not even like he can shorten it up a little bit to get it on the property,
Yeah.
and then those cribbings are still gonna be on the
They still
outside.
might be over.
So listen, if he's gonna have to come for variance, he's gonna have to get it, yep,
Bring them back over.
yeah, bring him over.
Okay.
I agree with council, we can't approve a violation of encroachment.
Never did it yet.
Nope.
All right, next item on the agenda is a new application of Sada Construction, block 40302, lot 48, 452 Brown Trail.
Good evening, Chris Colabell on behalf of the applicant. This application is for the construction of a new home on a vacant lot. And the plan, of course, call for a septic system and all the necessaries to construct the home. Two witnesses tonight, Tim Glassen, who's bringing his plans up here, and Sal Cuccinella. So if we could have them sworn in.
Right. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Well, your name, please.
It's Salvatore. Which in Cuccinella.
And you're the president of the. owner? You don't say the construction. Okay. Mrs. Lassen will be testifying as well. Is that your right hand?
Yeah.
You swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. And you're a licensed engineer in the state of New Jersey, your license is correct?
yes, it is.
And you testified before this board on a number of occasions.
Thank you. Mr. Glassen, did you have an opportunity to prepare a plan with regard to 452 Brown Trail? Okay, and that plan on the board there, is that the plan?
I'm gonna mark this only because it's a colorized version of my existing condition sheet of my plan, but it's slightly different than that colorized.
We'll call it A1.
Okay,
And could you just tell the board exactly what the plan is and just give us a little synopsis of,
First, let me walk you through my existing conditions and property. You see, it's colored brown here, lot 48, block 40302, it's 452 Brown Trail. Brown Trail terminates about 30 feet into the property, so this is the dead end of Brown Trail. Brown Trail right away continues through and connects to Dartmouth over here. There is a driveway through a portion of Brown Trail to our neighbor to the right, but there's no improvements after 30 feet into the lot on Brown Trail, so this is kind of a wooded area here. Our property is wooded, and I'll say wooded, there's mature growth kind of around the outside edge of the property, but there's not a lot of real mature trees in the middle of the property. We're rectangular in shape, we have 153 feet of frontage technically on Brown Trail, but again, we're before the board tonight for a setback variance, but we're also before the board because we're on an unimproved road. I guess your standard would be 24 feet wide, would be improved through the frontage of the lot. We're not improved through the entire frontage of our lot. Our lot depth is 100 feet. We're in your R1. Your R1 requires the minimum lot size of 15,000, or 15,311. It requires a frontage of 120. We have 153. It requires a depth of 100. We have the 100. You can see this dashed line on the plan. This represents a 40-foot front setback, 15-foot side setback, and a 20-foot rear setback. So that would be the building envelope that would be available on this property. The property itself goes slightly at about 2 to 3% for the first 80 feet, and then you can see some grade lines here that are much tighter in the back behind the building envelope, where it rises to our neighbors in the rear. We got lots 11, 12, and 13. Lots 11 and 12 actually have retaining walls across the rear of their property to separate them. They're about 8 to 10 feet higher in elevation. Our property the majority of our lot is relatively flat. The front portion of our property on the road, this is definitely a low area. This is an area that the town has installed some drainage to drain. It does not show up on any wetlands mapping as wetlands. There is no wetland vegetation out there. I did soil logs out here for a septic system, and it did not show anything water table wise that would indicate wetlands higher than 24 inches. We do have a septic system approved on the property. For utilities, we just have overhead electric. This area does not have water or sewer, so we need septic and well. Our adjacent lots to the left of us, just to give you an idea of the lot size around us, to the left of us is a vacant property, lot 47. It's owned by the owner of lot 45. This is just a 4,000 square foot vacant property with a shed. Behind us are lots, again, 11, 12, and 13. 11 is 7,800 square feet, 12 is 4,000, 13 is 4,000. So they're much smaller in size than this property. To the right of us is a 14,000 square foot lot with a single family home. These are all R1 zoned. And across the right of way from us are two lots, lots 2 and 6, both on top 14,000 square feet. So this technically is the largest lot in that area. This sits kind of at the end of the road. Now I'm going to just turn to my proposed plan, which is my grading and driveway rendering that I have here. I'm going to mark that too.
Call it A2.
Okay. What we're proposing to do is to construct a new 2-story 4-bedroom dwelling. It's on a slab. Kind of sits centrally on the property here. It's 50 foot wide, about 28 foot deep. Front entry garage. It basically is again slab on grade. In the front of the house, we have a 4x24 porch, and that does trigger a variance and a setback variance because of the 40-foot front setback. We're 38 feet to the front porch. So that's one of those variances that we're asking for besides the frontage on an unapproved road. In the back, we have a proposed second floor deck and then stairs to grade. The driveway is relatively flat. Right now, the driveway enters at the end of Brown Trail. Your engineer had asked that we lengthen Brown Trail a little bit further to end up between the property lines between, I believe, lots 2 and 6, which would lengthen it about another 30 feet. And we are proposing a turnaround. If you drive down Brown Trail right now, it's about 16.5 foot wide at the end. But basically, you have to then back up and turn around somebody's driveway. So we're proposing a 15 by 14 turnaround area, which we would then slide down if we lengthen the road a little bit closer on our property. But that would enable someone pulling down the road to form a K-turn. It would also enable us, if we lengthen Brown Trail, to have our driveway enter off the side of Brown Trail, so it does not appear that Brown Trail continues to our garage, which would be a better design because now you pull down, Brown Trail would terminate, and then you back up and be able to K-turn and get out. Right now, there's no means for this. You can back up, and I guess the neighbor on lot 6 here has a driveway that most people turn around. That's the way I back out of it when I was there. Our dwelling itself, we meet all the setback requirements. We're 73.8 on the right, where 15 feet is the requirement. We are 29.3 on the left, where 15 is the requirement, and our rear is 30, where 20 is the requirement. Our driveway is 774 square feet. We provide a turnaround area. It's a two-car front entry garage. The height of the building that we're proposing is under the 35-foot height. This building will not be an eyesore for any of our neighbors, in that these houses that are constructed across from us are two-story dwellings, basically at the same elevation. These homes behind us are at a much higher elevation. They're 10 feet higher with this retaining wall that runs across the back. So they're actually, the only view they would have possibly is our the second floor of our roof. And they look out their backyard. It's a pretty big drop down there. Utilities, we have a new on-lot septic system on the right-hand side of the property here, all approved by the Sussex County Health Department. 1,000-gallon septic tank, pump tank. We do have an on-lot well proposed on the left side. Both of those were reviewed and approved by Sussex County. For our lot coverage, where you allow 25%, we're at 16. And what we've done to mitigate more of our lot coverage is we've put our roof area into infiltration chambers in the front yard. We have 8 chambers proposed in the front yard area, taking our roof leaders underground. I'll go through a number of items that your engineer had talked about that we did not do, that we have to do on some revisions. I will have to add a tree removal plan. I went out there and kind of looked around the outskirts. There's a couple of mature trees in the back that we will be maintaining. We would come up with then a landscaping plan and a removal plan based on the number of trees we're taking down. He had asked about importing a fill. This house is elevated about 2 feet, this area around the house. We would not be exporting any fill on site. If anything, we're going to be bringing it in. We'd probably bring in quarry process stuff for the area of the building envelope. We're also going to be bringing in suitable fill for the septic system. So no soil would be leaving the site. And he asked for a number of items pertaining to the infiltration system, soil log testing of the system when it goes in, inspections of the system when it goes in. This is just basically a system that sits on stone. It's underground. They look like 55-gallon drums shared in half, and they're basically all roof area it's routed. That really summarizes what we're dealing with here. We're trying to minimize our disturbance. We're leaving the area in the rear. We're clearing for the septic system, clearing for the well, and again, our driveway now would enter off of the side of Brown Trail as opposed to the end of Brown Trail, because Brown Trail would be extended there. Anybody have any questions?
Mr. Gladson, would you be the site engineer? You'd be on site during the process for it?
Yeah, and I have to deal with the septic also.
One of the standards for this, it's called a planning variance, would be safe access for emergency vehicles so they can get in and get out. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, right now, there's really no access for emergency vehicles in that if you drive down the end of the street, there's nowhere other than to back an emergency vehicle up. So at least this is gonna provide a turnaround, and with the driveway coming off in this direction too, off the side of this, that would even provide more of an area to get access into the lot, so it makes it a lot safer condition. This is gonna be signed accordingly, so people cannot park here too. This is gonna be signed that it is turnaround only. You know, no one can park here, so this would not be a parking place for any of the neighbors. This is gonna be signed now. And this would be paved too.
Who's gonna extend the Brown Trail? Or is the homeowner is gonna do it?
Homeowner would be extending Brown Trail.
And then as far as in the winter cleaning the snow and so forth.
Well, I believe the town would clean the normal snow on Brown Trail. We would clean our driveway, but the town, it'll still be a town road.
Turn.
It'll still be a town road.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it's still gonna be in the town right.
so that was the purpose of that, the purpose of that
Feet.
comment is to garner this conversation. But there's nothing particularly wrong with the design as shown.
Right.
We offered the alternative for really the cleanliness of extending the road. It's already a substandard width road, but extending it a slight amount and kind of giving that demarcation of the driveway orienting itself.
Right.
So that we would all understand what is the public right of way. The turnaround is facilitating the public right of way, and then the driveway. That would also allow from that clean property line of lots 6 and 2 across the street. The remainder of the right of way does not provide access to any existing lots other than the driveway, which probably doesn't have, but would if it had anything, would have a license to the rights of the driveway in the unimproved right of way. So there is an opportunity for the governing body to vacate that other portion while accepting the portion that's formally improved by this applicant. There will be an opportunity to kind of memorialize Brown Trail as a dead end, ending it at an appropriate location, having the turnaround, which we don't really have on most of these dead end roads.
It's definitely.
And then vacating the rest.
It's there now.
Right.
Yeah, but I think that needs to be memorialized by the governing bodies.
Yeah, so it's not something as something that this board can act on, but it's just part of our discussion to understand that the flexibility of our approval would include the applicant coordinating with the township and the township ultimately deciding, the borough. I taught myself for the years never to say that wrong. The borough to determine which of those orientations it prefers.
So if the approval is granted, it would be conditional upon borough review and approval of any improvements proposed in Maple Street.
Now that would go to the borough engineer,
Yes, so.
that's John Rush, you were.
Exactly, and so, in the alternative, if it was per the plan, we would probably provide. Essentially like license to the encroachment areas in the right of way that are truly still a driveway and not our public roadway.
And the advantage of pushing it down is we would come off the side now instead of the end.
Yeah.
So basically, we would act like a driveway coming in right in the side. So when you look at the end of the road, you're not gonna see our driveway where you drive up and just continue up the driveway. We'd be a left turn then off of that, which would be a better scenario by extending it, yeah. And we'll slide this turnaround further down, because you wanna be able to get to the end and use that K-turn to get out. So that K-turn would slide down.
Question on the no parking area, it's gonna be posted, you said,
Posted, yeah.
any other traffic control
We're gonna have.
line it or?
We're gonna have a no, well, first of all, we're gonna have a no exit sign, so people pulling down the street know that it's the end. I know that on the far end of the street, it says dead end or whatever. But we also will have the no parking turnaround area sign only in the back of it, but on this side, we will have something. But other than that, it will be paved, it'll be just like portion of the road.
Any other questions?
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll open this application to the public. Does anybody from the public wish to comment on this application? Seeing none, I'll close it to the public and bring it back to the board.
I'll make a motion that we approve it, as long as it gets the board on the township approval.
Also, could I just, I raised this before, the plan for the house seems to have the garage reversed, that would be updated.
That would be
Yeah,
reversed.
but, yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Before he goes in for building permit, you would flip that.
Yeah, okay.
That's typical for Mr. Bangus.
Yeah, yeah.
That's typical for Mr. Bangus.
He said just turn it around.
So yeah, just turn it over.
What
We usually just turn it over.
One other thing I offered to the board is the tree replacement, right, the kind of inventory and tree replacement. That doesn't have to be addressed with me during resolution compliance, that could be addressed through like a zoning mechanism if you're comfortable with that. Or like if somebody was applying for tree removal.
We don't, even though it's in the ordinance.
Okay.
We're not set up to do any review on that.
Okay.
I mean, as far as,
So it can come to me, that's fine, I just wanted to offer if there was another mechanism already in place that it could administratively address.
So we have a motion and a second.
Second.
And the only thing that I would add is just to comply with whatever's in the engineer's letter, that's all. Okay, call the roll.
Mr. Sherrill,
Yes.
Mr. Diamond,
Yes.
Mr. Goodman,
Yeah.
Ms. Croft,
Yes.
Mr. Kukovich,
Yes.
Chairman Ray,
Yes.
Ms. Snow,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Mayor Galati.
Great,
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, Don.
Have a good night.
Yes, you too. bro. Get out of here.
It's funny, no, it's funny, you said swift.
When really all it is quick type is that. Sit down, you know.
Nobody will catch it, right?
You're lucky you got the right address. I have a standing plan.
I know Mike's been, he's been around for a
Yeah.
while.
Getting up there.
Yeah, well.
Computer stuff.
Okay, at this time, we're gonna open the meeting to the public. Does anybody from the public wish to comment on any?
We have a member of the public.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isaac Maradi,
Okay.
the owner of 316 Lakeside Avenue. And I'm here at recommendation of Mr. Donegan of an issue that we are having to see if you can help to resolve. To make it understand easier, I've made a simple drawing, which if I may, please.
You can just give him the Herschel handle.
Okay, just gonna keep one. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not jet skis.
The tape.
Is this, was this property was the subject of a variance, was it, it's something that's,
It was, would you like me to explain? what you want?
Sure.
Okay, basically, it was probably maybe a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, they were before the board. And what has occurred is, of course, they have the decks that are on the house. And then presently there was one time previous owner without approval had decked out to the water's edge. Called the front yard or the rear yard, actually lakeside yard. And, but that deck was to be removed as a prior resolution. But ultimately, this seawall, the seawall for this property is actually behind the docks on the right, or the seawalls on the right and the left. And what he would like to do is actually extend and I would call it a dock. He initially called it a deck, but ultimately it's going to be a deck over the water. So I would say it's a dock, basically property line to property line, so that you're out even with the neighboring properties. Then of course go with the floating dock that he is going to propose. And originally, I truly don't remember the length of the approved dock. But ultimately, he was talking about, probably something that would take care of, say, an average boat, 23 feet, 24 foot, so say a 25-foot floating dock. The scenario is, of course, it's going to be a water area coverage variance. It's going to be side yard setback for the dock variance. And ultimately, I said it requires variance. I said, if you want to just check with the board before you make the application, meaning just to see it with the board's thought.
no, I mean, whatever he's doing there requires variances, correct?
Absolutely.
So there's nothing to really talk about.
It just, he, I think, was hoping that you get a feel for, no way would we ever consider this, or sure, it's a horse race, try.
The board, it really isn't the process that we have here. If there's any immediate reaction saying this is something we won't countenance, you could express that, but certainly we're not going to take a vote. It's not like a use variance where somebody comes in and says, would you entertain allowing me to have a 3-unit home here, a 3-apartment home, and maybe the board says you're single family, well, how can you justify it? Here it's a little tougher because this is all we have to work with, and it's really setback variances. So the board can't take a vote. If the board is inclined to express some position, I don't see it as a harm. I'll put it that way.
If I may, the main purpose of this is to prevent, right now, because of the alcove, we have a lot of dead fish, birds, rodents, plastic bottles, cans, they all come within here, and the odor is unbearable. And honestly, I don't see any issues here. All we are doing is straightening that line to prevent the problems we are having. This is a big health hazard. It's not changing anything. Everything will be done according to the laws by permit with professionals that the township knows that they are from here. So we are not asking for any changes to anything, side back, left back, side backs. It's a simple, extension of the deck.
It does require variance.
That's all we're asking.
I understand, but that's why we have zoning. You have to go to Bill, and if Bill deems that something setbacks or anything that has to need a variance, it has to come here. We can't circumvent that process. If he says it has to come here, that's the end of the story. It has to be noticed and it has to come to the board. I mean, we can't approve something. We can't say, yeah, you could do it without granting you that variance to do that. That's why there's rules and regulations in place. It has to go through the proper channels.
You have to make an application. to the board.
Well, can this be limited to, the board and of course, Mr. Donigan, rather than going through the whole 9 yards of notifications and
No, it has to go the proper channels. It has to be noticed. Everybody has to know what you're doing there. That's why the whole process is in place.
Gives your neighbors an opportunity to understand what you're proposing and consider it.
And I'm sure you'd want the same courtesy if your neighbor was doing this to you.
I'm not an engineer or a planner, but I see this just a simple extension equal to what everyone on the both sides have. We are not asking to extend further, just equal to what the left has and the right has.
We understand what you want to do. It's just, there's a process to doing it and we can't circumvent that process. It has to go through Mr. Donigan. He'll tell you what variances you need. You have to notice it and then you have to come to the board and present your case.
And it's easy process,
Yeah.
you just fill out the application, just as simple as that.
It
Well, they
would
were
be,
here.
it would be
Was
good
this
to
not
have
here
a
for
full
something?
survey.
Pardon? This property was here last month or whatever
Yeah, well, yeah.
Whatever it
6
was,
weeks or
not
whatever
that
it
long
was,
ago.
yeah, but it's just recently, yes, it's just the light bulb.
We should have asked for this to be included in the original application. But honestly, up to this past month, we didn't realize the extent of the order, the problem that this is
Yeah.
creating. So, is it possible to go back and include it in the application that we
No,
have?
it's a different application. It's an expansion. I know you don't like the answer, but that is the answer, that you do have to come back in. It's an expansion of what you were doing. You have to notify the owners, you have to file the application and go through the process. And if you have a cleaner survey or a clearer survey, it probably would help the board, rather than just what you provided tonight.
I mean, it's unfortunate that you didn't include it in the original application, but we can't just throw something else in there, I mean, it has to go through that's why we have zoning. I mean, it has to comply. It has to be approved, because down the road.
I respect that fully. I just thought perhaps due to the situation, we'll have some leniency from Mr. Donigan as well as the board.
No.
It was like the other application that's here. They did a little tiny minor change over we can say that that's okay because it's so minor.
It didn't affect
It
any.
didn't affect
didn't
anything.
affect
It
any of the
didn't add
variances.
another variance. Where this is adding another variance.
This
So,
we're
you know-
controlled by the municipal land use law, and that governs what this board can do and what it has to do. And what it says is you gotta come in. So.
All right, thank you.
We may say that it's.
I will work with Mr. Donigan too.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Good luck. All right. Yeah. Anyone else from the public wish to comment anything? Okay, next item on the agenda is a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.